So we've arrived at the studio, we've got one kit, one module and some triggers. The acoustic sound just isn't working. What are we going to do? Let's have a quick look. So first up, I'd like to address what I've got in front of me. I've got a basic 4-piece kit, 10, 14, 22 and a 13-inch snare drum. I'm just going to play the kit in its raw state so you can hear it with microphones on. There we have it. Now, I'm not exactly happy with the tuning, or I'm not exactly happy with the actual environment of this kit. We have no overheads on the kit, I must stress that as well. With the module here, what I've done, I'll turn the module up. With the sounds I've chosen for the triggers, they're exactly the sounds as the acoustic drums, and I've tuned them exactly the same. So this is module down with the tom, and I'll just fade the module up so you can hear it. So it adds warmth, it adds depth, it certainly will add volume and a massive full sound if you're playing live or indeed in the studio. So this is it with everything live. Now this is the actual acoustic sound and the triggered sound. So you can hear it's pretty big. Now what happens then if I like the acoustic sound, but I want to change some of the actual triggered sounds? Yes, I can just dial them in via the module, but I want to change the tuning. You can. So I want to edit the snare drum. I'm just going to press Instrument, Edit, and it takes me to the snare page. There's a whole host of variations I can do here. Firstly, I'm going to look at tuning, so I can just play. I can also change the shell depth or the shell material. Obviously I'm using a wooden snare, but if I'm triggering a sound of metal, you get both together, which sounds amazing. I can change the muffling, so how long that snare is going to ring out for, and I can also move the virtual microphones around that snare drum to change the tone. To create your ideal snare sound. Secondly, I'm going to look at the toms. So I'm just going to hit this rack tom here, 10-inch rack tom, and go to head. Now I play a lot of prog, so I use gong drums when I play live. I can accomplish that with like a 10 or an 8-inch drum quite easily with triggers and a sound source. I can hit it and take the tuning right down. There's a massive depth of field of tuning here. So right down the bottom, or indeed right up the top. Kick drum wise, I really love editing kick drums. So this is it in its raw state. Once again, I'll take the module off. And this is it with the module on. Once again, I can change the actual bass drum head. So I can go from a pinstripe to a clear head. In this instance, I'll do a pinstripe. A lot more aggressive. I'll take the tuning down. I can adjust the shell depth as well, so I can make the shell a little bit deeper. And finally here, I can adjust the actual beater material. So in this instance, I want a plastic beater, which has a little bit more front end attack to the bass drum. And once again, muffling, I can take everything out, like this, or introduce bits of tape, or weights, or blankets to get the perfect bass drum sound. So that's it, that's the sound I want out of my kick, snare and tom. I'm pretty happy with that. What else can I do? Well, I can change this kit's environment. So as I spoke about before, there's no overheads on the kit, but on this particular module, I have an ambient setting. So if I just press ambience, I have complete control of the room that this module is in. So I have complete control of the overheads, the room and the reverb, all operated on one master fader. So this is, once again, it's everything down. So I'm just gonna play a groove. And then with the ambience slightly up, you can start to hear the difference in the changes of the kit. This is what you get. whole thing becomes a massive wash. It's amazing. One step further, I can then go to multi-effects. So if I like this kit sound, but I'm doing something a little bit more up to date, a little bit modern, I have a whole host of multi-effects in these modules. So I just press multi-effects, I press on, and I decide what multi-effects I want. In this instance, I want ring modulator. So a really weird sound on the bass drum, snare, and both the toms. That's obviously not going to be for everybody. I could also change the MFX send, so where I want that ring modulator to look at. For example, I go here. I quite like it on the kick drum, so I'm going to leave it there. I don't want it on the snare drum, so I'll hit the snare drum and I'll just roll it off. I'll keep it on the toms, but maybe not as much. And floor tom. And that's our groove. And there you have it. I'm only really scratching the surface, but as you can hear and hopefully as you can see, one tiny little acoustic kit with one module, thousands of sounds, thousands of possibilities. See you next time.